We stopped last time when Sultan Abdulhamid II had to give up his throne because of the Zionist movement aided by Britain in the year 1909. After the failure of the enormous efforts done by the father of Zionism, Herzl, to buy the lands of Palestine from him. I just want to say that the ideology of nationalism and the land of promise was rejected by a lot of Jews in Britain and European countries, and they believed that this will make the Jews separated from all the countries of the world. Plus, this ideology was against the concept of wandering in the land which is mentioned in the Torah, the holy book of the Jews. After Herzl, the Zionist movement was adopted by Chaim Weizmann, who became later the first president of Israel. He was a Jew from Russia and he was elected to be the Russian representative in the first Zionist Congress that took place in Basel, Switzerland in 1897. Weizmann was living in England in the year 1904 when Herzl died. At the end of his life, Herzl was convinced to find another place to establish the state of Israel after he failed to buy 1 inch of the Palestinian land from the Ottomans. And he considered Uganda to be the place of choice. But Weizmann revived the idea of taking Palestine again after World War I. In the year 1914, the World War I developed between the Central Powers, mainly Germany, Austria, Hungary, and Turkey, against the Allies, mainly Britain, France, Russia, and Italy. The Zionist movement didn't want to take sides at first, until they knew that the Ottomans would take Germany's side. At this point, they decided to fight with Britain, as Britain was so powerful, especially on the military side, and they thought Britain could force the Ottomans to give up Palestine after they win in the war. Weizmann was the man behind the scene. He aided Britain with all his knowledge as he was a talented biochemist who used acetone formula to develop weapons and explosives for Britain. And this made Britain exceed all the other countries in the war. Wiseman became an important leader and statesman in Britain, so he joined his efforts with Herbert Samuel, who was a Zionist British Labour politician, and he was the first Jew to serve as a cabinet minister. He asked Britain to declare Palestine as a homeland for the Zionist Jews in 1915. In 1916, there was a secret treaty between the British diplomat Mike Sykes and the French diplomat Francois Georges Picot, who started dividing the countries that were ruled by the Ottoman Empire even before the war ended. And as Palestine included Jerusalem, had a unique location in addition to its proximity from the Suez Canal, they agreed to put Palestine under their common rule, and this agreement was called Sykes-Picot. When Britain found out that they won't have full control over the lands of Palestine, they made a plan. They decided to give Palestine to the Zionists who were under the control of Britain, and they sought the help of wise men to do so. James Arthur Balfour, who was the Prime Minister of Britain at that time, met Chaim Weizmann and he told him that they could establish a Jewish homeland in Palestine, and they convinced France to accept this agreement. On November the 2nd, 1917, the Balfour Declaration was issued. James Arthur Balfour sent a letter to the Jewish leader Lionel Walter Rothschild, who was a member of the Rothschild family who controlled the economy of Europe literally at that time, and aided every Zionist movement possible. The letter stated that His Majesty's government view with favor the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people and will use their best endeavors to facilitate the achievement of this object, being clearly understood that nothing shall be done which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of the existing non-Jewish communities in Palestine. But what happened since that letter was violating all the civil and religious rights of the Palestinian people and killing them aggressively. We will know inshallah next time what happened after 1948. Please stop the genocide. Please stop killing innocent people and children.